From Bill Belichick's worst loss as the coach of the Patriots to another disaster in Chicago to another correct score prediction for Jack Rizzo this week. It was certainly an interesting week 4 in the NFL. All of that
You
and
got
more
that right.
next on the 12th Horseshoe podcast on Surge Sports. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the 12th Horseshoe podcast here on Surge Sports TV. I am Jack Rizzo, joined alongside by my co-host Elijah Weintraub. Eli, we're both pretty tired. We were at the Monday night game last week. We didn't get home until well after midnight. We were like one of the last people there. But how you doing
I got
today,
home
my
this
friend?
morning at 12:30 this morning. Yeah. I'm tired. Excited to break everything down for you. Well, for you people watching at home, I already know how my thoughts are. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I can't wait to get it started. And before Jack continues, I just want to say that we'll be changing our scoreboard to pink instead of blue for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The NFL obviously always has a tradition with the breast cancer. We figure why not do the same? So we'll have it as well, and we may have some same graphic changes for the game. So stay tuned.
Absolutely, some great points there. Breast cancer awareness, it's a really important thing I think to celebrate.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad we have a celebration for it. It's really a great thing. It's great to see all the sports, the athletes wearing pink. It's really great to see that everyone is in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. All right, so it was certainly an interesting week 4 in 2023. This was a pretty good week for me. This is the first time all season that I've defeated Eli in week-to-week matchups. I went 10-6 with my picks this week. Eli went 7-9, so I finished 3 games ahead of him. In terms of the overall season predictions, I believe I am right now 3 games behind Eli.
Yes.
So we're pretty tied up. We both went 1-2 this week in LSU or a lock survivor upset. We'll get to that in just a second. But there were lots of crazy games this week, lots of crazy finishes, and we've got my man Drake in here, Colts media guy. Love this guy. Let's go. Pumped to watch live. Appreciate you as always, man. I know you've been really busy with some stuff, so we really appreciate you taking time out of your day to come and join us on the show.
The question I had was, is Jack going to be like the Giants, just get that one win against the Cardinals, and then go the rest of the way in 1-3, and while I continue to follow that 3-1 Seahawks path? So let's see what happens.
Let's just get right into that game. We were at this game, Eli. I don't know how we survived,
but okay, yeah.
Well, no, yeah, we are. Let's get into the. Yeah. We'll just start right off with the Monday night game last night. The game that we went to. I don't know how I survived 3 hours watching the Giants last night. It was pretty pitiful. I mean, I watched the entire Colts 2022 season
because you had a Seahawks fan next to you.
I did not see a performance that bad. What does that have to do with it?
I kept you entertained with the Seahawks.
Yeah, no. Oh, that's true. Well, the Seahawks fans were very loud there at MetLife. Yeah. I mean, there was so much green in the crowd.
That's right.
So much crowd, so much green at the end in the crowd. You would think it would be a Jets home game.
Wow.
So, I mean, needless to say, the Seahawks defeated the Giants 24-3. I mean, it could have just been 100-0, and everyone would probably believe you if you said that was the score. Giants have been, if you take out, the Giants have held the lead this season for 19 seconds. The whole season. That's how long they've had a lead in any of their 4 games for.
Yeah.
If you get, they're averaging 1.5 points per game at home this season. Yeah. I don't even have words for that. But Eli, take it away from here. Explain to us why the Seahawks won this easily and why it was such a great game for the Seahawks.
Well, let's just say the star of the game was that defense. The defense for the Seattle Seahawks. A team that we never thought that would have the best defense and always continue to fail, and never show progress. Instead, played one heck of a game, had 2 interceptions caught, including a pick six, which was 97 yards, courtesy of Davon Witherspoon, which I was super thrilled for him, and he better win Rookie of the Year, Rookie of the Week for Week 4 because he
He
was
will.
on
No, don't
fire.
worry about it. He
Oh,
will
he
for
will
sure
win,
win it.
100% sure. With Jamal Adams playing one drive before getting back to hurt again, I was very impressed with that Seattle defense. Unbelievable. Offense was on point. An interception for 97 yards. What more could you ask for? A 97 yards that was literally next to the end zone was unbelievable. I was going crazy. You saw me, Jack. I was going nuts. The crowd was fired. They rocked MetLife. Let's go. And we are now 6-0 at MetLife Stadium, defeating the Giants 4 times, once to the Broncos in the Super Bowl, and 1 time to the New York Jets. And from a Giants perspective, the Giants are in trouble as they face big challenges, including the Buffalo Bills, and next week with the Miami Dolphins. And of course, the failure continues on. The start of the game clearly for the Giants was the kicker and the punter. I mean, those were the two on point players because everybody was horrible. Literally for 3 points in the game, we allowed 2 interceptions, 11 sacks, and only it was just ridiculous. And 4 different players from Seattle got for multiple sacks. So kudos to them for Seattle side. Super excited, huge Seattle win for the Giants. That was mess, a mess at the worst turf in the world. I bet like Stadium.
You know what, Eli? Though, you're not going to get off so easily because I'm going to tell the people watching at home that when we were at MetLife Stadium for the draft party back on
Yes, I
April
was.
27th,
I admit to that.
wait, let me finish. Let me finish, Eli. Let me tell the people watching at home. My podcast partner, the person to the right of me, was very critical of the Devin Witherspoon pick at number 5. And the next time Eli comes back to MetLife Stadium, the man who he criticized wins them the game. So I think Witherspoon must have heard what Eli said, and he put his
Here's what I have to
marking on
say.
the game.
Here's what I have to say to defend myself. For a number 5 pick, I did not expect Seattle to go with the defenseman, knowing how great of a draft and players they are. But clearly, I was wrong, like I usually am, and he is now one of the best defensemen that we have seen in a long time as a rookie, especially for Seattle. I mark back all those words, and we won a football game yesterday. We're 6-0 at MetLife Stadium. Jack, what are your thoughts on the game?
I mean, I don't really have many thoughts. It was just a disaster. I mean, after that pick 6, the fans were already leaving. It was like near the end of the third quarter. The fans decided they had given up. There's at least 4 to 5 times in the game where the Giants fans booed pretty heavily too. I mean, we were there, so we can speak from experience.
Absolutely, especially
and
during
I
the
will
Taylor
say,
Swift promo video.
I will say, yeah, exactly. I will say it felt very weird being there as a Colts fan, being a neutral fan, with how loud the Let's Go Seahawks chants in the fourth quarter were louder than any Let's Go Giants chants I heard throughout the whole game. But being there as a Colts fan, it felt so weird. Like I kind of like blended in with the Giants because of my blue jersey, but like it just felt so weird because when we were leaving the stadium, I was like the only person that was like emotionless. I just had like this look on my face,
like
as I'm leaving the stadium.
A Bill Belichick moment was Jack Quizzle yesterday.
When we were in the parking lot, I did shout out a "Let's Go"
Yes,
Colts,
he did.
which felt great to do, honestly.
Absolutely,
because like I didn't really care about the game. I don't care for either team really. So
come on, Jack.
I was just there to spectate
For Seattle. You went for a partner.
I'm a Colts fan, Eli.
Partner.
The 31 other teams in the NFL are nothing combined. Don't mean as much to me as the Colts do. So sorry, Eli. It's a great win for the Seahawks, but at the end of the day, I care about my team and my team only. So.
Yeah, you're right.
But anyways,
We
pretty
both
good
got
win.
the pick right.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it was just a crazy game. We want to talk about this game for like 2 hours. We probably could, but we got to get moving here.
Yeah,
so
we would love to talk about it, but the thing is, there's not much to talk about. Seattle's number 1. The Giants are.
Wait, let me ask you one question though.
Yes.
Is the Seahawks defense really that good, or is the Giants offense just that bad?
I would say both. Because I wouldn't say. Because the offense was just horrible yesterday for the Giants, and so you can't count that Seattle played a perfect game. However, if you lost to the Rams in Week 1 when having a full healthy roster staff ready to go, with Cooper Kupp out in the Rams offense, that said something different. So clearly, yes, I would say the defense stepped it up but not fully because you did play the New York Football Giants.
I
But
will
we'll see.
say that it's. I will say. I'll get. Were you
I just
finishing
want
it?
to say that, yeah, we have a bye week in Seattle this week for week 5. So that will help Seattle out in some way, shape, or form, getting
I
back to
don't think
Pacific
so.
time, and then we got a
I
Cincinnati. So that could help. I
I
believe it
disagree
will. I
with
know you
the
want to say, I say play right away, but the thing is, I think
no.
I'm okay with the
No,
bye.
I'm saying that it's a bad time for Seattle to have a bye week because they're
Right.
playing so well. Like after week 1 would have been a great time to have a bye week because they look so bad. But now that they've won 3 in a row and they've dominated and especially the last 2, it's a bad time to have like usually you want your bye week to come during like a low point in the season when you're struggling with
Right.
injuries and losing. Now Seahawks did have a lot of injuries last night because the turf at MetLife is a disaster, but they still won 24-3. I think it's a bad time for them to have a bye week. And again, it comes in week 5. They're gonna have to play 13 straight weeks after this. So that's a lot to take for one team, but we'll have to see about that. But congrats to the Seahawks on a great win. Congrats to Eli for his second
Yeah.
game ever in my life. He is 2-0. I am, as a Colts fan, 1-2, but last year didn't count because we were tanking. All right, let's go to the night before. Staying at MetLife Stadium. Now we were not at this game because of how expensive the tickets were. We know why, but we talked about her enough last week. I don't even want to mention her name anymore because
It's
the
me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
yeah, because what
I'll give you a hint.
being shoved down our throats. So much so that the Giants fans were booing her last night. But anyways,
In Seattle.
the Jets on the road on Sunday night, only 23-20. No, though. Now, Eli, this was your lock of the week. I thought it was a pretty good pick, but turns out the Chiefs only won by 3, and Zach Wilson outperformed Patrick Mahomes. And if it weren't for some controversial officiating calls and some bad play calling by the Jets in the fourth quarter, the Jets could be sitting here 2-2. The Chiefs could also be sitting here 2-2 with a loss to Zach Wilson. I don't really know how great of a game this is for the Chiefs, but Eli, give us your overall thoughts about this game. We both got this right, by the way.
Yes, we did. I had the lock right too. That was the only thing that saved me. So yeah, for the Chiefs, they played differently. Now I know the turf was an issue because when is not the turf a problem at Life Stadium? But for the Chiefs, I think they got lucky. And I think they got lucky because Taylor Swift was there because it seems like that's been helping the Chiefs out. Other than that, the Chiefs are getting too lucky. The Jets did not should not blame Zach Wilson as he was the star of the game. He played amazing. And I think one thing that did help the Jets was the presence of Aaron Rodgers being there, which this was his first time back in MetLife since his injury because of the wonderful turf. And so yeah, I wouldn't say that the Jets should blame everything on Wilson. I would say more so the defense that would need the work. Overall, the Jets played well. Wilson played good. The defense does need some work. The Chiefs are getting lucky. And one thing I will say is shame on NBC's Ronnie Harrison for calling Zach Wilson garbage because he played a phenomenal game, and that was absolutely disrespectful and not something you say to a player, or especially on national TV, and especially when you're interviewing a Chiefs player. Come on. Come on, man. You're muted.
Sorry about that. I know Eli didn't mute me. I muted myself, by the way, because I don't want my cough to be on. I don't want you guys to be listening to my cough, and that's kind of gross. But yeah, I think it was extremely disrespectful, especially to say to a Chiefs player. These players have a lot of respect. They have a lot of respect for one another. Even though they're on opposite teams, they are brothers at the end of the day. The NFL is a brotherhood. But it was a great, interesting game. I honestly don't think the Jets should be too upset about this. I mean, they only lost to the Chiefs by 3, and if it weren't for the refs, they probably could have won. And uncoincidentally, the next game we're talking about is the team the Jets are playing next week. And we're going to do this early because I want to get Eli's opinions on this. The Denver Broncos came back from down 28-7 to defeat the Chicago Bears on the road 31-28. Eli's expression says it all. The Broncos are 1-3 now on the season. It might be their only one in 2023, but hey, they will take it in any way possible. The Bears continue to be a disaster. Their defense is horrible. And I honestly don't know how much longer Matt Eberflus is going to be the coach here. He might get fired within the next 2 to 4 weeks. But Eli, you have the floor.
How did the Broncos win? Is the question everybody's asking. I'll tell you how. On fourth down in Broncos territory, the Bears didn't kick a field goal. They said, we'll go for a fourth down. Hey, what is that to lose? Only a football game, right? Well, yeah, they did. They didn't get the fourth down. It came first down Denver. Denver wins the game. Absolutely a disgrace for the Bears. Absolutely a disgrace. The fact that you had the lead for majority of the game, turn around and lose to the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, who have been playing horrible, horrible, like tying with the New York Jets for 3 weeks straight. Well, not New York Jets, excuse me, the New York Giants. My apologies. Getting confused with my New York teams. Tying with that is absolutely ridiculous how you guys that should have been an easy win for the Bears instead turned out to be absolute disappointment. The Broncos won a football game. They gave me nightmares that night, let me tell you that now. And the offense was just unbelievable. That Chicago Bears team. I don't even know what to say. And the fact that the Bears are a Thursday night primetime game versus the Washington Commanders is an absolute joke. Let me tell you, that game was a disgrace. How did the Broncos win is beyond me. And the Bears should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. And Jack, the floor is yours.
Guys, Eli's just mad because he got this pick wrong and I got this pick right. So he's
That's
wondering
wrong.
why.
No,
And,
it's
and,
called
and
because
he had
Denver
the Bears.
Broncos.
He had the Bears for a survivor pick, and we that turned out to be a really bad decision.
We always
But
have the
yeah,
bounce back rules on the
you know
show.
what? Eli is right though about the Bears being on primetime. This isn't even the only primetime game they have. They're on Thursday night again to play the Carolina Panthers, the other 0-4 team in the league. Which, oh my God, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the Panthers. I might have to rant about Frank Reich again. But I
Sounds
really
like it'll be
don't
a long
want
night, folks.
to. I don't know. Now Eli, we talked about the Seahawks overtaking MetLife last night. Let's not forget what happened on Thursday night this past week with the Detroit Lions fans taking over Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in a division rival as the Lions beat the Packers for the fourth straight game, knocking them off 34-20. I got this pick right. Eli got this pick wrong. I believe it's the first Thursday night game this year where I've gotten it right and Eli's gotten it wrong. Eli had been 3-0 on Thursday night before this week. He is now 3-1. Sorry about that, Eli, but it's a great win for the Lions. They are real. They are for real. I know that week 2 loss to Seattle was crushing, but again, it was an overtime loss. And hey, David Montgomery is pretty freaking good. Even though he's played for a while, and a lot of people thought Jahmyr Gibbs would take over his job, but the Lions are playing with a lot of confidence right now, and they've got the Panthers next week at home. So 4-1 is looking like a real possibility, Eli.
I don't even know what to say except the Lions won. The Packers didn't pull a comeback. That was just the Lions are the Lions. They're good now. The Packers, I'm disappointed. They dominated Lambeau. Kudos to the Lions. And the Packers have now a Monday night game coming up, so against the Raiders. So that'll be boring. But
that's not a great Monday night game. I have to agree. But what
yeah.
can we do about it? We're not the schedule makers. So I wish we were because I think we could pick better games.
I told you we need a wheel. We need to spin the wheel.
Yeah. Let's talk about a game now that a team that really disappointed me this week, and that was the Atlanta Falcons, who played and Sunday morning. For those of you who woke up, and for those of you on the West Coast, you had to wake up at 6:30 to watch this game. But the Falcons took out the Jags at Wembley Stadium in London, UK. The Jags won 23-7, continuing their dominance in London. The Falcons 2-0 start feels like a lifetime ago. They have scored 13 total points over the last 2 weeks. We might be seeing Taylor Heineke soon because Desmond Ridder does not look like the answer quarterback. Jags continue. They have a huge bounce back win. They had back-to-back tough losses to Kansas City and Houston. They are 2-2, and they get to stay in London as they prepare for Buffalo next week. And as for the Falcons, they come back home to take on the Texans, who I don't think should be slept on. But yeah, I was really disappointed by the Falcons. Eli, go ahead. We both got this pick wrong, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. The Jaguars played well, played better in London and a new offense, but the Jaguars are still not that good from the level we expect. They got lucky because it was the Falcons this weekend, but they're not that at the level yet that we saw last year. A lot of turnovers for the Falcons. We're not executing what was needed to be asked. All parts of the Falcons team struggled. And now I'm going to turn my attention now to the Toy Story broadcast because I watched that instead of the regular broadcast as a true loyal Disney fan I am. And they did a really nice job. There was a lot of technical issues. That was the real big issue for the Toy Story broadcast. If there weren't a lot of technical issues, I thought it would be a home run in the park. Another big issue for me during that broadcast, the Toy Story characters had no lines, no roles in it. Literally, the chain was Slinky Dog, so I appreciate that. That was the funniest thing in the world. I love that part. But when it comes to like Woody and all that, I wasn't like they weren't talking; they were just like dancing when it was a touchdown. I did like the Big City Greens NHL broadcast a lot better. Overall, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad idea, but I think needs some work and needs to be like what they did for the NHL and Big City Greens, with especially with being technical issues and having characters there. Overall, loved it. Jaguars huge win over the Falcons, but don't sleep on them yet.
Yeah, it was certainly a huge bounce back win. It was a cool experience for the Toy Story 2. By the way, just wanted to congratulate the I know it's an abrupt announcement, but congratulations to the Minnesota Twins. They just won their first playoff game in 19 years. October 5th,
Oh,
2004 was the last time the Minnesota Twins won a playoff game. I actually have it on the TV right here, and I just like quickly glanced over, and the game is over. It is a final 3-1. The Twins defeat the Toronto Blue Jays. I want to make clear they have not won the series yet. It's just a playoff game, but they have not won a game since 2004. They've gotten swept every time they made the playoffs since then. Congratulations to the Twins
wow.
fans. They're one win away from going to the American League Divisional Series. So congratulations to them. But back to football. Let's head to the next game. Rams Colts. Rams win 29-23 in overtime. Tough loss for my Colts. Lost Dallas Flowers, our corner for the season, because of a torn Achilles. Hey, though, you know
Oh,
what? We were
oh.
down. You know what though? I'm proud of my team. We were down 23-0. 23-0. PFF or ESPN had the Rams like a 98% chance to win in the third quarter, but we fought back though. We did not give up. We got 3 touchdowns, 2 huge 2-point conversions. Took the game to overtime. Yes, the Rams won. Puka Nacua was incredible, by the way. And Stafford, I know I'm upset that we lost, but I have all the respect in the world for Matthew Stafford and the kind of quarterback he is, because when he's locked in, he might be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And Puka Nacua is being quite the receiver so far. But I'm so proud of the way this guy plays. He's got so much heart. His his 360 spike celebration is awesome. Had 3 touchdowns. I know his stats didn't look great on paper. 11-25 for 200 and 2 touchdowns. He lost a fumble, but had 56 rushing yards. But AR is the man, and I would have really liked to see what he could have done if the Colts got the ball in overtime. But congrats to the Rams. Great win for them. Have no really anything against the Rams. They earned it. Congratulations to them. We just got to bounce back next week against Tennessee. But if you want to add anything, Eli, go ahead. But we both got this pick right.
Yeah, we both did. Yeah, I would say huge comeback for the Colts. I really appreciated that. Honestly, I really thought Minshew was going to come in. I honestly thought that. And I clearly was wrong. Anthony Richardson was key player for this Colts team. Rams played well. Offensive defense on point. The second half was bad for the offense for the Rams. Other than that, they played well, and there's not much more I could add. And I'm going to call a timeout here because I want to announce the NFL standings for this week. For those who do not know what the standings are for this week, 4-0 this week is Eagles and 49ers. 0-4 is Panthers Bears. 3-1 is Seahawks, Ravens, Bills, Cowboys, Lions, Chiefs, Dolphins, Buccaneers. 2-2 are the Falcons, Browns, Packers, Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Chargers, Rams, Saints, Steelers, Titans, Commanders. And at 1-3, Cardinals, Bengals, Broncos, Raiders, Vikings, Patriots, Jets, and Giants. Both New Jersey teams.
Yeah, thank you for that update, Eli. I really appreciate you doing that. All right, let's go now to what we declared here on the 12 Horse podcast as our game of the week. Although, I mean, I would say about 99% of NFL fans would agree. Dolphins, Bills. I honestly think the Bills were the team that impressed me the most this week. This was probably the most impressive win all season, not even just in week 4. The Bills won 48-20 at home, showing who is still king in the AFC East. I had a feeling the Dolphins were going to get exposed. I know they were 3-0 and they just scored 70 points, but I mean, come on. They played the Chargers defense and the Broncos defense, 2 of the worst defenses in the NFL, and they struggled to put away the Patriots. So I had a feeling this was coming. Dolphins are going to be just fine, though. I mean, they're playing the Giants this week, so they're probably going to win by like
70.
50. No, not by 70. They might win by 50 though. We'll have to see. But
70-3 is the final.
hey, the Bills,
I'm gonna change your pick.
that week 1 loss to the Jets are on a mission. They have scored 123 points over the last 3 games. That's crazy. That's like 40 points a game over the last 3 weeks. That is absolutely incredible. Josh Allen had more touchdowns yesterday or Sunday than incompletions. The Bills defense came to play. Congrats to the Bills. They just dominated at home. This wasn't like a cheap win either. This was just a beatdown of the Miami Dolphins. Bills, most impressive team for me this week. And congrats to the Bills. They are now 3-1 on the season, and they are in first place in the AFC South. Or
Well,
AFC East.
The first thing I would say is that the Dolphins were a little bit embarrassing coming off of a 70-20 loss win versus the Broncos, and then go ahead and then somehow lose to the Bills. The Bills are the better team clearly in this division. Offense was on point, defense was on point. It was really a playoff matchup in the East. Now this could change. Obviously, the Dolphins are having a pretty good schedule coming up, and Dolphins are a very good team. Bills could just easily mess up quickly. Overall, I was very impressed with the Dolphins, and Trey Davis White is going to be out with an Achilles injury as well. So 2 Achilles injuries so far this weekend, and yeah, the Bills travel to London. Big game coming up for them, and the Dolphins, they have to win versus the Giants. They have to win.
Oh my God, if they don't win, I don't really know what to say, but certainly a great game. Bills made a statement.
Oh, and
I got the
also
pick.
check out Jack Show, the Horseshoe Show tomorrow for the full recap of the Colts,
Thanks,
which will
Eli. That's
which
appreciate
will
you being
air
on.
sometime
What's
in the
that?
afternoon,
Yep, yeah, because we have something going on.
prime
Uh,
time.
yep. But yeah, I got the pick right for the Bills. Dolphins. Eli got it wrong. I had a pretty good feeling about the Bills, and turns out I was right. All right, next game. We're not going to spend too much time on this one. The Ravens Browns. No Deshaun Watson. Predictably, an easy win for the Ravens, 28-3. Bouncing back. Still lost to the Colts though, so Colts are
Yeah,
still better, but doesn't matter. Good win for the Ravens. DTR stood no chance against this defense. I got this pick wrong. Eli got this right now. To my defense, I thought Deshaun Watson was going to play, and if he did play, it probably would have been a game. But I would have changed my pick if I was allowed to when I knew that Watson was going to play, but that would have been hypocritical of me. So I decided to eat my
once the
words.
video airs, no more changing. The picks are in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
clearly. Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure
but
you wish you could have. I'm sure you wish you could have changed that Bears pick though, but too late, Eli.
I would
But
never change it. Never change it. No regrets. Ravens
okay.
played well. Browns, no comment. And yeah, despite the Bears being horrible, yeah, I still don't regret it because I will never pick the Denver Broncos despite them losing bad. And what's up?
Hey guys, what's up, Luke? Thank you once again for joining us. Appreciate you. Excuse me, as always.
And to all the people who
Thank you.
comment.
Yep, everyone who comments, feel free to comment. Anyone who's here joining us, feel free to comment. We love hearing your opinions and your feedback, whether it's positive feedback, negative feedback. We will take any of it. So please feel free to comment down
Or
below. And
comment
thank
that the
you,
Giants are
everyone.
horrible, the Jets are horrible, not Jets. The Giants are horrible, the Denver Broncos are horrible. That's the one I will post.
All right, we
And
got to move on, Eli, before
we're
you
running
start
out of time.
rambling on. All right, next game. We're not gonna spend too much time on this one either. Vikings Panthers battle of 0-3.
God.
Vikings won 21-13. Frank Reich still sucks. I could rant on him for 2 hours, but we don't have the time for
We
that.
have a time limit. I will say.
Wait, hang on. I
Okay.
had one more thing to say. Yeah, Frank Reich still sucks. I got this pick right. Eli got this pick wrong. I'm not picking the Panthers again this season, most likely. But yeah. How funny though, Eli, that the Devin Witherspoon pick six, the 97-yard pick six, was only the second longest pick six of week 4, as the Carolina Panthers had a 100-yard pick six. How funny that was their only touchdown of the game. That offense is an absolute disaster. Frank Reich is the worst head coach in the NFL. Yes, he's worse than Sean Payton, Eli. I said it right then and
I
there.
agree about that part,
Um,
but
yeah.
Sean Payne's ready to tie though.
New York sports teams are having a bad year. I mean, they certainly are. I mean, Mets,
Yeah,
Yankees, Giants,
baseball.
Jets. Don't say that to the Bills though, because the Bills do play in New York. So don't say
Correct.
that to the
If you
Bills.
don't, well, yeah. If you don't consider Buffalo, but if you talk about the Hudson River battle, yes, the football's bad and the baseball's very bad.
The Rangers are going to be the best team in this area.
The New Jersey Devils. How many times do I have to tell you, Jack? Devils.
No, nope.
Devils.
All right,
Okay.
all right,
Quick question.
all right.
I gotta wrap it up. I'm disappointed with the Panthers. I thought they were gonna play a great game, having a good lead. If they would have scored the extra kick and made it 14-21, I would have won this. I would have had the correct score. But no, why would you give me the extra point? And yeah,
Why? How many times? Eli, you really thought the Panthers were going to play? They're not going to play a good game all season with Frank Reich as their coach.
whatever. The Vikings played well. Panthers were the Panthers. So disappointed. And yeah, next team.
Maybe Harrison Smith will win Defensive Player of the Week because he had just as good of a game as Devin Witherspoon did. But let's. I don't want to make Eli mad. So next up, a game that made me mad: Steelers Texans. Texans won 30-6. I was crazy enough to have them as my survivor pick, but Matt Canada.
Hey, we're both wrong this week.
Matt Canada is the worst coordinator in the league. Steelers are probably going to fire him at some point. Kenny Pickett, knee injury, probably might be out this week. I say
He's they're on bye this week.
The Steelers, no, Next week they're on a bye. This week they're
Steelers,
playing
yes, they are.
the.
Steelers are on bye.
Are they really? No, they're
Oh
not.
no! I'm sorry, my fault. You're right. I,
No, they're playing the Ravens at home.
yeah,
Yeah.
my
So I
fault.
think they might sit Kenny and let him wait, get
Disagree.
an extra week of rest for week 7.
Yeah, I disagree with
I
this
watched
comment.
only a little bit of the Toy Story broadcast. I was mainly just watching the ESPN Plus version, but yeah,
I
I
disagree.
heard some mixed reviews about it, so
I
we'll have to see
disagree.
what happens. But
Oh,
yeah, also also
I disagree, but whatever.
also want
That's
to
my
say that
chicken wish.
CJ Stroud, he's legit. The Texans have a very bright future.
Yeah.
I'm a Colts fan, but honestly, good for the Texans. They have not had a lot of great things in their history, and the Texans Colts rivalry should be a fun one for many years to come. So
Absolutely. I'm really excited about this Texans team. CJ Stroud played amazing. I was super impressed overall. Absolutely QB of the year for rookie QB of the year, excuse me. Played amazing. Steelers did okay without Kenny Pickett. At the end became a struggle, rough road ahead for them though. The Steelers have the Ravens. Atlanta takes on the Falcons. And sorry for my correction about the bye week. They are not on bye this week. And yeah,
yeah, Eli got this pick right. I got it wrong. Good on Eli for picking the Texans, but yeah, Steelers have looked
will
really
I
bad.
pick in
I know
next
they're
week
2 and
too?
I know they're 2-2. No, I'm not picking them next week. Spoiler alert. All right. Now moving on to the Titans
We'll
Bengals
talk after the
game.
show.
Titans lost 27-3 last week to the Browns. They won 27-3 this week against the Bengals. The Bengals they might be just as bad as the Giants are. I don't know if
Jeez,
you'd
I think
rather
you're
be the
right.
Bengals or the Giants right now. I mean, it's both of them are pretty horrible. But the Bengals, Joe Burrow, just does not really look that comfortable out there. Bengals aren't getting anything done, and they're now
Money
one and
trap.
three. Eli, you have the floor.
I've always been saying it's the money trap, 100% the money trap. Nobody listens to me though. Money trap though, 100% for Joe Burrow. The Bengals did horrible, not a good year for them. Titans are a wild card team potentially. They played well, despite some ups and downs and some struggle. They are a potential wild card team, so keep in mind about them. It's gonna be a rough division. Now, if you eliminate the Bengals, I would eliminate them already.
It's week 4, Eli. I know they're looking horrible,
I
but
know, but
I don't know about the Titans
Patrick
being a
bye
wild
week
card team
next week. Yeah,
either.
the Bengals they travel to Arizona. That's gonna be an interesting battle, and then you go to Seattle. I mean,
Yeah, it's
I
true.
think Seattle goes on one of them.
No,
So
Seattle goes to them, so that
yeah,
could
sorry.
could be an interesting game, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, but yeah,
I
we
don't
own
know. I don't
MetLife
know about.
Stadium, so
I
you
don't
never
know
know.
about.
It could be
I don't know
could
about
turn.
the I don't know about the Titans being a wild card team. The Texans, I think, are better.
I
I think
agree
the
about that
Jags
part.
are better.
Yes,
The Colts will have to see. They play each other this Sunday, so we'll see who the better team is. Honestly, the
absolutely.
game could go either way. I'm gonna just say right now, I hate to do this. I have the Titans winning. I can't believe I just said that, but yeah, that's my
But
pick.
you
But
don't always
you know
do
what?
that because
I don't want to talk about it
always
anymore.
do that
We can
because
move on.
hold on. But you always do that because it seems like whenever you pick against the Colts, they win. So that might actually work out in your favor.
It didn't work this week, but the Rams, Matthew Stafford's
And I
never
also have
lost
the
to the
Titans.
Colts on the
Spoiler
road.
alert.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Eli. Bucks Saints. Tampa Bay wins 26-9. Both got this pick wrong. I mean, I didn't expect the Saints to lay this big of an egg at home, but I think Derek Carr was still playing hurt. Tampa Bay defense, man, pretty good. This Tampa Bay defense is very
Yep.
good. 3 out of the 4 games now they have allowed less than 20 points. The Bucks surprisingly 3-1 to begin the season. They are on a bye this Sunday. What do you think of the way the Bucks played? I mean, they have been one of the biggest
If
surprises.
you couldn't beat the Eagles, I would have considered you on top for 100%. But yet again, you were at your home turf too, so that got me a little annoyed. And plus, you gave up a safety that game, so that was just annoying. But the Buccaneers, shocking win, good for them. Saints are the Saints. Not much more I can comment about. And interesting, what's gonna happen next for them.
I will say Chris Olave was pretty disappointing in fantasy. Maybe like
Oh
the
yeah,
bust of the week for fantasy. Debo was pretty disappointing too, but we'll get to that game in just a second. Last 1 o'clock game, the Commanders Eagles. What a close game this was. Eagles
overtime,
win 34-31 in overtime. Yeah, 2 games went to overtime this week.
right?
Rams Colts and this game. I will say I know the Eagles are 4-0, but it's a very sloppy 4-0. They have not really looked that great throughout the season. They almost lost to the Patriots in week 1. I know they're 4-0, but they could definitely be 2-2. So the Eagles have got to play cleaner football. Commanders bounced back pretty nicely after losing last week pretty big to Buffalo. They've got a game Thursday night against the Bears. The Eagles go to LA for a pretty decent challenge against the Rams. But it was a really good game, and Commanders shouldn't be slept on.
Yeah, Eagles are on fire. They're very good. Commanders should not be slept on, but yet again, I could see some failure ahead of them along those lines. They should have a pretty decent schedule. They have, I believe, the Bear. Yeah, they have the Bears this week, so that should be a good one. And then and then they have 2 weeks from now the Giants. So you got a good schedule up ahead of you. Eagles are a good team. Commanders are commanders. Not much more I could add.
Well, we both got that pick right as well. All right, Eli, it's time to talk about the game where for the second straight
We have
week I
two more games.
predicted exactly correct.
We have two.
The
We forgot the Chargers.
I'm not going to that one. I'm going to this
Oh,
one first.
okay.
All right.
Sorry, I forgot.
Card,
Sorry.
cause we need to talk about it. We need to talk about why I'm a football genius because I predicted 35-16 the 49ers would win at home. And well, the score was 35-16. And yes, the 49ers were the team that won. So for the second straight week, I am exactly right with the score prediction. I got 15-10 for New England and the Jets last week. Christian McCaffrey might be the MVP, honestly. I mean, that guy's playing out of his mind. Eli is in shambles because for some reason picked the Cardinals one. I will say the Cardinals were in it for like 3 quarters, but then they fell apart in the fourth quarter. Had a
Like
couple
they usually
drops in
do.
the end zone at the end to save my score prediction. So thank you, Zach Ertz and Zach Pascal. For some reason, Zach's dropping a lot of passes in the end zone, which is pretty interesting.
The first thing I could.
But yeah,
The first
49ers win. Eli, are you upset because the Cardinals couldn't win?
I'm mad about a lot of things right now. Well, first thing, if you go 3-0 next week, I think we're gonna have a problem with this. And when it comes to correctly scoring the game, because that's pretty incredible if you do so. Cardinals just the win against Cincinnati. I'm not worried about them, but the 49ers, oh, they're too good. And now they play Dallas on Sunday night this week. This can be fun to watch.
Oh, it's gonna be a great game. Maybe
I don't
game of
know
the year
how
so
much.
far.
There's not much more you could add about this game. It's just it's a game.
Yeah. Well, I had it as my lock of the weekend. I was for sure right about that. Now, Eli and I are both 4-0 so far this year with our locks, so we're doing pretty good with that. Everything else not doing great with. We're both 2-2 in Survivor. Eli's lost each of the last 2 weeks. In terms of upsets, I am 0-4. Eli is 1-3. You got the Detroit pick right.
Yes,
We are
they did.
we are combined though 0 for our last 7 with our upset picks, which is
Yes.
not too great. But let's go now to I'm very proud of that score prediction, by the way. So thank you very
Yes.
much.
Good job. Great job on the pick, by the way. And don't go 3-0, please. Just because I
Oh
don't
no,
want
I will. I will definitely. All right.
to.
The Patriots Cowboys game. I can't believe we actually picked the Patriots to win. I mean, they were blown out 38-3. The worst loss ever for Bill Belichick as the coach of the Patriots. Cowboys dominated from start to finish. I mean, when you win 38-3, you know how a game goes. So what a bounce back win though after losing to Arizona last week. But yeah,
I am absolutely.
Patriots could Eli, do you think the Patriots would consider firing Bill Belichick or not because of the respect? What do you think?
No, because he's coached a team that has won 6 Super Bowls, and no other coach has been able to do that. So you have to give him credit 100%. He is the coach, despite playing some losses. There's not much you can do. Bill Belichick is the man. He is what New England is, and even if you fire him, I don't think it's Bill Belichick. I think it's players on your bench.
I don't know. Well, Mac Jones had a pretty horrible game, throwing a pick six, throwing across the field. It was the easiest interception I've ever seen. Cowboys.
Yeah, that was like Seattle, New York last night, but they ran for 97 yards in Seattle.
We talked about that game though for 10 minutes. I think we're done with that. Although Eli's a Seahawks fan, but I mean the fans, I will say the Seattle fans were awesome that were at MetLife.
Thank you.
Not just because of how passionate they were, but they were pretty nice too. They were pretty friendly folks.
Go Hawks.
A lot of them were from Seattle. We met a lot of people from Seattle, so really cool to see that. But final game of the week. We're not gonna spend too much time on this one either. Raiders, Chargers.
I didn't talk about the Dallas. Dallas played. Yeah, Dallas played well. Patriots, I was shocked about. Huge game coming up for the Cowboys. Patriots disappointed, but Bill Belichick is still the man, so you can't question him now. And yeah, go ahead.
I have a shirt of Bill Belichick. Raiders, Chargers. Chargers won 24-17. Both got that pick right. Chargers, even without Jimmy G, still managed to keep this game close to typical Charger fashion, but a long pass ended the game. Jerry Tiller took a big shot on Justin Herbert on the sidelines, got ejected. One of the dirtiest hits I've honestly ever seen before. It was a pretty pathetic one. It was like 5 yards out of bounds, but Chargers won. Aiden O'Connell didn't play that bad for the Raiders, but yeah, Chargers won. They're 2-2, and they're back in the AFC. Eli?
Yeah, Herbert suffered a injury with a finger. He played the rest of the game. I believe if I'm not, yes, they do have a bye this week, so that will help Herbert out a lot. Chargers played well. Raiders also played well, but again, I did see some struggles up and down. But we'll obviously have to. Time will tell on the next game. Excuse me, and both teams play very well.
Absolutely. Well, that is our Week 4 recap. I went 10-6 with my picks. Eli 9-7, both 1-2 on LSU. All right, we got a preview now. The Thursday night game in Week 5. What a
Dun, dun, dun,
disaster of a
dun,
game
dun,
this is.
dun.
The Bears Commanders, and this isn't even the only time we're going to see the Bears on Thursday night this year. They play the Panthers in Week 10. Oh my God, I'm
It's
bracing.
embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing, and it's so embarrassing. Can I pick first?
Go ahead.
Well, Washington's in favor by 6.5 points.
No,
I said
5.5. Now he just changed it.
5.5. Okay, I did not print this out on time. Okay, I'm taking the Washington Commanders to win 35-12. I'm choosing them as my survivor, and I'm also choosing them as my lock of the week. I'm going 2 for 2, and I have so confidence in the Commanders. And if they fail me, we have problems.
Yeah, it's a great pick. I mean, the Bears are in shambles. Commanders have played really well. They also should be 3-1, but I am also taking the Commanders. No surprise there. I've got a little bit of a closer game though, 27-16. But like Eli, we usually don't do the same teams, but I don't really know what else game to do this for. So I'm also taking them as my survivor. Not taking them as my lock. I have a different game in mind for that. But the Commanders, my survivor pick,
You
both
could
of our
be 2 and
survivor
0
picks
potentially,
for Week 5. Yeah, Eli has a chance to go 2-0 with that.
or
And
0 and 2.
Well, we'll have to see on that. But that is pretty much going to do it here for us on the 12th Horseshoe Podcast. Remember to watch our show. We might not be able to do it on our normal time Friday nights. We'll have to figure out a
Yeah, so
different time to
keep
do it.
posted on.
So we'll keep you posted on that. My show, the Horseshoe Show, airs tomorrow afternoon. Not tomorrow night because I've got something to do. Eli on Sports Mono on Saturdays. There might be a St. Mary's football game this Friday night though, and we're just waiting to see
If we are allowed
what
to
the deal is with
broadcast.
that. Yep. If we are, we'll obviously be there.
If
Same
not,
race
then we'll
week
be
has for
right here
kites and a
7
league
o'clock.
crossover game. Yep, exactly. So you'll see us at 7 o'clock regardless, whether it'll be at the football field
At Hasbro Kites or
or
from
in
our
our
wonderful,
basement.
comfy homes.
Or in our basements. But you will see our faces though at 7 o'clock Friday night. I'll guarantee you that.
You got that right.
But thank you so much everyone for watching. Hope you all had a great week 4 of the NFL and happy first week of October. October is one of my favorite months of the year. But thank you guys so much for watching. Elijah Weintraub and Jack Rizzo signing off here on the 12th Horseshoe Podcast. Good night, everyone.